Hello everybody. It's minus 30 degrees Celsius here in southern Alberta, which is minus 20-ish Fahrenheit, and I'm in the garage doing some work, so I thought I'd do a quick video and explain to you how I stay warm in this crazy weather when I'm outside shooting. First of all, if people tell you that they can stay warm without dressing for it, they're pretty much lying. You need to dress in this temperature, and you need to dress well to stay warm. I always have a hat on my head all year long when I'm outside because of bugs and because of sunshine, and also to help to keep my head warm. But the hat that I'm wearing, that I usually wear, does very little for the cold. After about -5, this hat does nothing. So what do I have? I have a bomber's hat. And I bought this a number of years ago, and I find it is just amazing. It keeps my head very warm. It keeps the cold off the back of my neck because it drops down quite low, and it also keeps my ears nice and warm. Now, I've had toques, I've had winter jackets with amazing hoods, but they never work as good as this does. I don't like toques because toques always tend to squeeze your head, and they always seem to pop up. They're just not comfortable, and they're not that warm in my opinion. Hoods let too much air in. This is the best of all worlds. So for a hat, get yourself a nice warm hat. May not be a fashion statement, but it'll definitely keep your head warm. Now, to keep your fingers warm, that's a whole different thing. To keep your fingers warm, when it's cool outside and I'm shooting, I wear these fingerless gloves, and they are perfect. Why are they so good? Because you can pull the cover on them when you're not shooting, when you're walking, when you're doing stuff that you don't need your fingers for. And then when you need to shoot and you need to adjust your camera or a tripod, or if you're making dinner, this will allow you to do so much more having your fingers exposed. Then when you're done, you don't need your fingers, you can pop them over like that. These are great. These work well down to -5, -10 Celsius with no problem whatsoever. The issues with them is the biggest thing is they're not that thick, they're not that warm, but really with being able to use your fingers is so nice, and I love them for that. Once it starts to get colder, about -5, -10, depending upon how the wind is, I have a nice pair of mittens that I put on, and they work good down to about -15 or so. The problem with anything where your fingers are like this is you lose to be able to control a lot of things, especially with cameras, and you lose the ability to adjust things and to be able to feel while it's adjusting. So what I'll do in a lot of cases, and even with my mittens over here, is I will actually switch up and I will wear one pair of one and the other pair of the other, so that I can still get my finger access for my camera, to be able to control the shutter, to be able to push buttons on my camera, and I will keep this for my other hand to keep it even warmer. Or if it's ridiculously cold outside, I have some heavy-duty mittens. These ones I think were made by Wind River. They're really good. The brand really is not that important because a lot of companies make warm gloves, and with having all your fingers in the same spot, it just keeps your hands so much warmer. And believe me, it is nice. I'll even take these when I'm wearing them, and if I'm out shooting, I'll keep these on, and then I'll put them inside of the mittens, and it helps my hands to stay nice and warm. Then when I'm shooting, I pull them off, and I've got my fingers exposed. Now, if it's insanely cold like it is right now, a number of years ago for Christmas, my daughter made me hand warmers. They're designed to be put into a microwave and warmed up, but what I'll do when I'm in the van is I'll keep them by the heat register, and they get nice and toasty warm, and then when I leave the van, I drop them into my mittens, and my mittens keep me really, really warm doing that. I can be outside for 2 or 3 hours, and these keep my hands warm for probably about 15 to 20 minutes, nice and toasty warm. And then just the heat that's in here will keep my fingers warm for the next couple hours with no problem. If it gets extreme outside, then what I do is I come back, I warm up in my vehicle, and then I go back and I continue my shooting. So the next area I want to talk to you about is keeping your feet warm. If you can keep your head warm, if you can keep your hands warm, and you can keep your feet warm, you'll find that you'll enjoy the outdoors much, much more. Now, I see so many people suffering through with really bad footwear. And not only bad footwear, but people who either wear no socks or they wear these really skimpy socks in the wintertime. If you're going to be outside in the cooler or cold weather, if you're going to be trying to enjoy taking pictures or camping, get yourself some warm socks. Now, I'm not talking about the really thick ones. I'm not talking that you have to get 2 pairs of socks. In fact, if you get too much sock material, then when you put them into your shoes or your boots, they actually compress and your feet will actually get colder. So you don't want to get really thick socks, but what you want to do is you want to get socks that come up at least halfway up your calves. And you'll see that they're so much better. Your feet will stay warmer. They'll stay drier. It's just so much nicer. Now, what do I wear when I'm out? 99% of the time, I wear a hiking shoe. Why? Because I like the traction that the hiking shoe gives me. I like the fact that they're light on my foot. And I like the fact that I can go uphill, downhill, or just about anywhere, and they are safe. So I really like them. These are Morels. I wear a lot of Morels. In fact, these are new. I just bought them last week because my other ones, I actually wore out the entire bottom on them because I do so much walking. So these ones I really, really like. Now, side note, I have found with this pair that my toes are much colder in these. It's almost like these are more vented than my other Morels have been. So just beware if you're buying these for cold weather, you may find that you want to ask when you're buying them to make sure that they're not really vented like these ones are. Now for the really cold. Well, for the really cold, I have myself a really nice pair of boots. Not only do they keep my feet warm, but they're really good for traction. And traction to me is as important as keeping my feet warm. When I'm carrying camera gear, when I'm walking up boulders, down boulders, when I'm walking across ice, keeping myself upright is as important as keeping my feet warm. So that's what I have these for. And they work wonderful. They have that material in them that is metal and it reflects the heat back to you. I think it's called T-Max. And it is just wonderful to keep my feet warm. These ones are made by Wind River. I know a lot of companies make a lot of different boots. So find a company that's around you and get boots that are not only safe, but they're warm. Now, I want to talk a little bit about those big, bulky boots that we all had as kids. Those ones that our parents put on our feet and we went outside and they felt like they were heavier than what we were. I have a pair of those heavy boots, felt lined boots that are to keep your feet warm down to -40. And I like them if I'm standing in one place, but I really don't like them if I'm doing any walking. The traction on them seems to be horrible, and they're just so heavy that my feet sweat so easily in them. So I keep them if I'm going to just get out of the van and stand by a campfire, or if I'm getting out of the van and making supper at a picnic table, or if I'm just getting out of the van and doing some shooting just around the van, that's when I like to wear those. They help to keep my feet warmer than these, yes, but I just can't do much moving in them. So that's why I don't wear them very often. So until next time, get out there, enjoy the great outdoors. We'll talk to you soon. Hopefully it'll be a bit warmer and we'll all be enjoying it. Bye-bye now. Thank you for watching my video. If you like this video, please click on the like button, which is the thumbs up button. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button and then click on the bell next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified when any new videos are uploaded. Thank you and have a great day.